most false goals, ego-driven goals, have behind them the fuel that drives them is an unconscious need for either significance or certainty. We need a map in order to help navigate. Without a map, we're going to go around in circles. Anyone ever felt that they've gone around in circles when it comes to things like, oh, abundance, manifesting, money, health, relationships, patterns? Yes, a circular map, not useful. And so I'm going to lay out what the map is. The map shows the territory. Now, the map is not the territory. It shows the territory. And having a map is exceptionally useful. And the territory that we're going to be covering, and for a lot of my students, this is going to be a good reminder. But remember, the war cry of failure is I already know that. So I want you to look at this through, again, eyes of abundance rather than just eyes of, I know this. So Einstein said something profound. He said, you cannot solve a problem at the same level of consciousness that created the problem. Right? To paraphrase that, you cannot solve the problem of abundance by thinking at the level of scarcity, which is where most people try to solve their problem of lack of abundance by thinking at the level of scarcity. Cannot be done. It doesn't match. So there are levels, and the levels can be chunked into many different categories, but the easiest four are the levels of to me, by me, through me, and as me. And as a very quick recap, the level of to me is where, unfortunately, most of the world, over 50% of the world's population, live in what we call victim mode. To me mode. It's funny, there was even a gentleman that runs a very large online spiritual community that yesterday started getting a bit of a psychotic episode and spouting off untruths about people I know, threatening violence and everything else. And why is the person at a spiritual community operating essentially out of to me? But a lot of people try to really get into a mode of changing that. They want to invest energy. They want to put in energy. We call that by me. It's going to happen by me. And by me Barry rather than to me Tony, if we're going to give names, right? There's a world apart, because to me Tony is essentially sitting there and allowing the general direction of life to happen to them. And the general direction of life, ladies and gentlemen, is disorder and chaos. And when I say general direction, I'm on about if you don't invest proactively into creating something, then it will atrophy. If you don't invest in creating a body, your muscles will atrophy. If you don't invest in earning money, your bank account will be empty. If you don't invest in tidying the garden, it's going to be overgrown. You get the idea. Why? Because everything in the physical world, by very definition, means its destination is non-physical, which means it's always moving towards a breaking down state unless there is a positive intervention. When it comes to the by me, the challenge is we are trying to force something that doesn't fit our pictures. Do you force a flower to grow, or do you simply put it in the right environment and watch the magic? Obvious answer. Do you force your muscles to grow, or do you simply put your body in the gym, do what's required, and then watch the magic? Obvious answer. So, by me is a case where you're trying to force your muscles to grow. You're trying to force the flower to grow. You're trying to force your bank account to grow. You don't force the body to heal. You simply put it in an environment where it can heal itself. So by me, by the very definition, includes a lot of friction, and a lot of the energy is wasted in the friction rather than the magic. Then we get to the next level, which is through me Theo. And through me Theo's got a very different life to by me Barry and to me Tony. It's because through me Theo is operating with the principles of actually doing the work in line with how to facilitate the magic. See, Through Me Theo is not a magician. He doesn't click his fingers and have money fall from the sky. Nor does he try to force anything, and nor does he sit there and complain. He works with the principles that allows the magic to happen. So the map essentially is, how do we navigate from By Me to Through Me? If we've got a map, that's where we want to go. But along with a map, you need two other things. The first thing you need is a destination. You need to know where it is you want to go. Where is it that you want to go? Yeah. Because, again, the biggest mistake that most people make is that they run from what they don't want rather than head towards what they do want. Pretty obvious when you think about it. So you need a destination. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because there are two types of destination you can proactively pick. And again, if you don't proactively pick, life will pick you a destination which is going to be on a downward slope. So By Me versus Through Me, what is the different destination? Well, one is what I call big goals, and one is what I call small goals, or false goals, goals of the ego. And when it comes to most people, certainly in By Me by its very definition, almost 90+% of the time is focused on going after false goals. And the reason they're false is because they are running away from something that you don't want. And there's essentially two types, or a couple of, there's more than two, the two biggest types. One is ego in terms of needing to prove, i.e., external validation, good opinion of other people, the need to prove, even if it's to yourself, but mostly it's to others. In other words, the primary driving need of most goals under that category is the need for significance, the need to be validated. The other category centers around certainty, the need to have more so that on a rainy day, I'm okay. The need to be certain that I can provide for my kids and therefore be a good enough parent. So most false goals, ego-driven goals, have behind them the fuel that drives them is an unconscious need for either significance or certainty. If you set a destination and that destination is a small goal, yes, you can hit it. You can do a lot of stuff in By Me. You can actually work your ass off and achieve a lot of stuff. It's just that there is a big difference between a life-chasing achievement and a life-chasing fulfillment.